Hello, good evening, all. Welcome to the second episode of the Crash Course on AutoCAD. Today, we will have an introduction to commands in AutoCAD. Okay, we will see what a command is and what are the different types of commands and all that. But before that, qualification. I've been working as a CAD trainer and consultant for almost 30 years, executed several 3D visualization projects for civil engineers and architects, presently working as a training partner in Internshala AutoCAD training and trained more than 30,000 students online. I've got a YouTube channel with the name Sabeer CAD with more than 1.78 lakh subscribers. Now, the entire topic of this crash course series is that we have started with what is AutoCAD, which was a topic of which we have discussed already. It was discussed yesterday. And today, the topic of discussion is Introduction to AutoCAD Commands. Then we will have AutoCAD Drawing for Beginners. We'll have a demo session on that. Then we'll see how to convert a floor plan into 3D drawings. And the last session, we'll have I'll give you an overview on the various job possibilities, job prospects related with AutoCAD. So these are the 5 crash courses. Now let's come to today's topic of discussion, which is Introduction to AutoCAD Commands. What is a command in AutoCAD? See, AutoCAD is basically a command-based software. That means if you want the software to do a particular task, you have to give a command for that. Okay, so what is a command? A command is defined as a valid instruction that is given to the software for which the software issues certain messages called prompts. Okay, so command is an instruction that is given by the user to the software for a particular command. As soon as the software gets a command, it understands, it basically understands, it decodes it, and it will give you certain messages in return, and these messages are called prompts. So literally, it's a kind of dialogue that is taking place between you and the software. You talk to the software in terms of commands, and the software will respond back to you in terms of prompts. So for any communication or any dialogue to be smooth, the basic prerequisite is you should know the words in that language, okay, which are commands here, and the person who's listening to you should understand that word. Okay, so what I mean to say is, if you want to be the starting stage or the first step to learn AutoCAD software is get familiar, just get an overview of all the commands in AutoCAD. It is not a mere understanding of commands, but you should also know the method to execute that command. Okay, because when you execute, if you want to execute a particular task in AutoCAD, task can be anything, right from making a small civil plan to a 3D house to a mechanical assembly, or it can be any drawing or modeling requirements. For any task, there are different ways of doing it. There are different methods of doing it, okay? But you should understand the path of least resistance. Means you should understand the method to combine the commands in the most effective manner. That is very important in AutoCAD. It's just like speaking. If you want to communicate an idea, you can communicate in different ways, right? But there is a method by which it can be done very effectively. So like you should learn that method. Fine. Let us continue. Now, commands are easy to memorize. That is another specialty of commands. You can very well memorize these commands because most of the commands are named after the task or the activity for which it is meant. For example, if you want to break a line, they give the command break. Breaking is an activity, it is a task, right? If you want to say rotate a rectangle, okay, you draw a rectangle using the rectangle command, which is again easy to memorize. Then you rotate it using the rotate command, which is again easy to memorize. So that is it. Commands are generally very easy to memorize. You can input a command using different methods in AutoCAD. If you want to input a command, if you want to give a command to the software, there are different ways of doing it. Okay, you can use keyboard, or you can use the menus in the software and things like that. There are different methods to do it. Then we will see all that. Then the commands are categorized in various categories. Like we have, in AutoCAD, roughly speaking, there is around 250 commands. Okay, and some commands can be used to create objects. Okay, such commands are called drawing commands. Drawing commands. Then there are certain commands with which you can incorporate changes on the existing objects. Such commands are called editing commands. Editing means making changes. Then there are some commands with which you can visualize an object or a drawing which is already created. Okay, from different angles. If you want, you can view a 3D model, or you can take a drawing and you can a particular area you can blow up and see. You can zoom in and see. So for all this viewing visualization activities, we have a set of commands which are called viewing commands. Then there are productivity commands. What is productivity? Productivity is used to improve the efficiency of production. What is a product here? Your product is a drawing or a model. Okay. So the main reason why you make use of AutoCAD for computer-aided drafting and design is that it is very productive. But that means within a short period of time, you'll be able to create more number of drawings, okay, which you otherwise do. When you do it manually, it'll take you more time. So here it'll take less time, and you can have more number of drawings in a given time. So that is it. That is what is called productivity. So if you want to improve the productivity, there are a set of commands with which that can be done. Okay. And such commands are called productivity commands. Now, I'll open the software and I'll show you. This is the interface of AutoCAD software. Okay. Here you can see on the top, you can see a particular interface, and this is called the ribbon interface. In the ribbon, all the commands are grouped. So you have a line here. Just click on line, and you can pick a start point and pick an end point, and you can construct a line. Okay, you can go on picking points, any number of points. It will ask you for 2 point, 2 point, 2 point, 2 point, etc. Likewise, you can go on creating lines. Okay, if you want, you can create inclined lines as well. Inclined lines. For any drawing, okay, the basic entity means the object with which the drawing is made up of is a line, isn't it? Any drawing will have a line. So you should learn how to draw lines, which is very easy. I'll show you. These are all random lines. Okay, suppose if you want to draw a line from a particular point that has got a certain coordinate, that you can input that coordinate. Suppose this is where the origin or 0, 0 is located. Suppose if you want to start from this origin, when you're asked to give, see, when I clicked on the line command, you can see first point, prompt coming. This is the message which is issued by the software, and this is called the prompt. Now, you can start from 0, 0. So I'll give 0, 0. Okay. So you have started from the origin. Then you will see a rubber band line stretching from that point. Then it'll ask you for the next point. Suppose I want to construct a line with a given distance. Okay. And I want to create it in the vertical direction. You can just press F8 function key. In the keyboard, we have an F8 function key. So that the mouse will move only in the vertical and in the horizontal directions. Okay. Now I'll keep it straight up, and I would like to create a length of 50 units. Just type the distance 50. Then rightward, I want to go 30 units. Just type 30. After keeping the cursor in the rightward direction, then keep it in the downward direction and type 50. And keep it in the leftward direction and type 30. Okay. This is a simple rectangle. that is created using the line command. A rectangle is made up of 4 lines. So suppose if you want to construct a circle right at the geometric center of this rectangle, you can just click on the circle. When you click on the circle, you will see different methods with which a circle can be constructed. I'll click on center radius option. When you click on that option, you can create a circle with a given center point and radius. Now it will ask you for the center point. See, look at the prompt. It is asking for the center point coordinates. I want to keep the center right at the geometric center of this rectangle. So what I'll do is just hold on the shift button of the keyboard and right click. And here you have a geometric center option. You will get a small menu. And here you will get the geometric center option, and keep the cursor on this particular rectangle. Okay, I repeat. This is a rectangle, right? So I'll draw a circle, shift right click and choose geometric center. See, you can see that the geometric center is automatically identified. Now it will ask you for the radius. I'll give a radius of 10 units. So I've constructed a circle. So likewise, you can add entities or small such objects to complete a drawing. Now let us create a drawing. Okay, I will demonstrate it by creating a drawing. Okay, let us take, for example, this particular drawing. This is a fidget spinner. You know what a fidget spinner is. Okay, I would like to create this drawing of a fidget spinner using AutoCAD software. See here, when you look at this drawing, you can see that there are 5 circles in this. Okay, 5 circles. This is a circle and each circle is placed in each quadrant. This is the first quadrant, second, third, fourth. There are 4 quadrants you can see. Okay, now there is a center circle. So what I'll do is I'll click on circle command, choose center radius option. Center point is coordinate is already given here as 0, 0. I'll give 0, 0. Then it'll ask you for the radius. Radius is it's 17.5 because the diameter is 35. You can see the dia as 35. So I'll give 17.5 as the radius. Now I'll repeat the circle command to construct this particular circle. If you want to repeat the most recently given command, all you have to do is just right click, and when you right click, you will see that particular command appearing as the first item in this menu. So click on repeat circle. Now it will ask you for the center point coordinate, which is 35, 35, and give enter. Now it will ask you for the radius. Radius is 17.5, which is already there. AutoCAD always memorizes the most recently given radius. Okay, so you don't have to give it, just give enter. That circle is constructed with the same radius. Now I'll construct the next circle, which is this one. The center point is given as minus 35, 35. I'll give minus 35, 35, and the radius is the same. Okay, so give enter. The next circle is minus 35, minus 35, which is in the third quadrant. This one, minus 35, 35, minus 35, then give enter. The next circle has got a center point at 35, minus 35, and give enter. So we have constructed all the 5 circles. Okay. Then I want to connect these 2 circles with an arc. Okay. I want to connect it with an arc. For that, I don't have to use the arc command. There is a command called fillet in AutoCAD. Fillet, you can see the command here, that fillet command here. Just click on that fillet command. Then it will ask you for the radius. You have to give a radius for that. Radius is given as 22. This is the radius, 22. Now it will ask you for the first object and the second object. So automatically filleting is done. Okay, now I'll erase this particular arc. Now what I'll do is I'll repeat fillet again, and I'll go to multiple option. In multiple option of fillet command, you can perform more than 1 fillets at a time. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll go to radius. Radius is already there as 22. Then pick the first object, second object, first, second, first, second, first, second. So it's all filleted. Now we have to remove this particular portion of the circle, this portion of the circle. Okay, if you want to remove a portion of an object, you can use the trim command in AutoCAD. Okay, trim command, you can see a scissor symbol here. You can just click on that. That is a trim command. Then just give enter, and you just click at the locations of the entities which are to be removed. That's all. It's gone. So this is the procedure to create a fidget spinner. Okay. Here, what I've done is I've started with the circle command, constructed these circles using the center radius option. Then I've connected these circles using arcs using the fillet command. Then I've removed that extra portion of the circles using the trim command. So just three commands to accomplish this task. It's very simple and easy, right? But suppose for a beginner in AutoCAD, how will you know that this is the procedure? It's very easy because you're already you once you learn the basics of AutoCAD or at least the 2D drafting in AutoCAD, you will be familiar with the drawing and editing commands, right? All the drawing and editing commands you are supposed to learn. Then again, I'll tell you how to learn commands. Every day, make it a habit of learning at least 5 to 10 commands. Okay, at least 5 to 10 commands. So that within a span of 2 months, you'll be able to learn all commands. Okay, so likewise, you know what a command is and which all commands are to be used, because the moment you look at this figure, you can see the circle. So the command is obviously circle to construct a circle, right? Then to connect two circles, there is an arc. So you know what fill command is. So you can very well give it. So likewise, it's like speaking a language in which you are very confident. How will you do it? Have you ever think when you speak in your native language? Because it comes like a spontaneous overflow, right? It comes like a spontaneous flow, one after the other. The sentences will be coming and you won't be thinking. Okay. So like when you are given a drawing in AutoCAD, if you are fully familiar with all the commands and if you're familiar with the procedure, then you won't think. You'll be doing it. That's all. Okay. You will be doing it spontaneously. So it's that simple to create a drawing in AutoCAD, and this is a workflow. This is the procedure. Okay. Now let's create one more drawing so that you will get a better understanding of how commands can be combined. Okay, this is another drawing. See, when you when you see this drawing, you can see that there is a rectangle. This is a rectangle, right? So you have to start with the rectangle. The dimensions of the rectangle, how will you know the dimensions of this rectangle? So this is 85 and this is 100. This total length is given as 100. So I'll start with a rectangle command, which is here. I'll start from this particular point. That is a random point, which is the lower left corner of the rectangle. Then I'll go to dimension option. Now it will ask you for the length of the rectangle. Length of the rectangle is this particular distance, which is 85. Okay. Then it will ask you for a width of the rectangle, which is 100. Then it will ask you to pick the opposite corner point of the rectangle. Okay. So I've completed this rectangle. Next, I have to create, when you look at the corners of this rectangle, that you can see that it's all filleted. Okay. This is not a sharp corner. It is a smooth corner. It's a rounded corner. And the radius is given as 10. So what I'll do is I'll go to fillet command. Okay, fillet is here. Then I'll go to radius option. I'll give the radius as 10 units. Then in this particular command has got the fillet command has a polyline option. Okay, in AutoCAD, any command you give will have I told you that you will get a prompt, which is nothing but a message which is given by the software in return to a command. But each prompt will have a number of options. An option is a method to execute that command. So I'll click on the polyline option of fillet command. Okay. This rectangle can also be called as polyline. Then you just pick on this polyline. Now you can see that all the corners got filleted simultaneously, right? In one click, we have rounded off all the corners. That is because we have used the polyline option of the fillet command. Okay. Next, I have to create this particular slot. For that, I'll draw a line from this midpoint, keep it straight down. Then using that distance method, you can construct that line, right? This distance is given as 25. So I'll give 25 and give enter. This line is created, but this is at the right at the middle of it. Now we have to copy this line onto the side, because this is the total width of the slot is 15. So half of it you can take it as 7.5. So what I'll do is I'll copy this, or else you can also create parallel lines using another command called offset. Offset. Okay. Offset is an editing command. I'll give offset command, then I'll give an offset distance of 7.5 units, which is nothing but half of 15. Then select object offset, site offset. Then select object offset, site offset. When you're asked to give the side, you can just pick a point on the desired side. Okay. Then I'll erase that center line. Then I'll draw a line connecting these two endpoints. Okay, because you need this particular line, right? Then, oh, okay, we have created this slot. Next, we have to create this particular circle. For that, what I'll do is I'll click on circle center radius option, but you should know what the center point is, right? But this is 15. This distance is given as 15, and this distance is again 15. This is 15. So what I'll do is I'll offset through a distance of 15 units this particular outer rectangle, this rectangle. So you have got this inner rectangle, and this corner is the center of the circle. From the geometry of the figure, it's clear, right? This is 15 and this is 15. So I've just offsetted this entire rectangle to get this center point of the circle. So then I'll give circle command, center radius option. I'll pick this as a center point. Okay. Now the radius of that circle is given as, you can see that dia is 12. So the radius of that circle is 6. Okay. Now you can erase this rectangle. Okay. Because that rectangle is drawn to get this corner. Next, what I'll do is I'll mirror this. There is a command called mirror, because we need a typical mirror image of this rectangle and the circle on the downside, right? On the bottom side. For that, you can give mirror command. In AutoCAD, there is a command called mirror, which is an editing command, using which you can create symmetric objects. Okay. In any drawing, when you analyze engineering drawings, especially, you can find symmetry. So you can easily deal with symmetry using the mirror command. So I'll click on mirror and select the rectangle as well as the circle, give enter. Then it will ask you for the first point on the mirror line and the next point on the mirror line. Okay, and these two points will define a horizontal axis. Then give enter. So this is mirrored onto the bottom side. If you are not familiar with AutoCAD, if you're a beginner, you will get to know about all this when you do the course in AutoCAD. It's all simple. Only thing is you should learn the application of each and every commands after learning a command. Okay, how will you learn the application? By creating drawings. Okay, now this is another slot which I'm supposed to create, and this distance is given as 26. So what I'll do is I'll draw a line from this mid. I'll keep the cursor in the leftward direction and type 26. Okay. Next, I'll offset this particular line to both these sides using the offset command. Offset, as you know, as I told you already, offset command is used to create parallel entities. Now, I'll give an offset distance of 9. Select object to offset, side to offset, object to offset, side to offset. Then I'll erase this line. But before that, I'll construct a circle, because you have to create this arc, right? When you trim a circle, you will get an arc. That is the idea. Now I'll erase this line. Next, there is a big circle over here with a radius of 21. So what I'll do is I'll draw that circle and I'll give a radius of 21. Next, I have to remove all the unwanted portions from here. For that, I'll trim. I gave trim command and I've completed this figure. Okay. So this is how you create this drawing. So how many commands I've used in this? I've started with the rectangle command. Then I gave fillet command. That was a second command. Then I give offset to get this center point of the circle. Then I give circle command. Okay. Then finally trim command. So 5 commands altogether. Okay. So likewise, after learning commands, you should learn the application of those commands by creating drawings, by doing projects, so that you won't forget these commands. Okay. So that is a practical approach to learn the AutoCAD software. So I hope by now you have got a clear understanding of what a command is, and how will you give a command. We have used two different methods to give a command, right? We have used a keyboard as well as the ribbon. This particular portion is called the ribbon interface of the software. All the commands are grouped here. But I recommend, since I have started long back, I at that point of time there was no ribbon in the older releases of AutoCAD, so I'm quite familiar with the keyboard input. Moreover, if you want to draw a circle, just give C and enter. It's very fast, right? It's pretty fast than taking circle from the ribbon. If you want to draw a line, type L and enter. That's all. You can give aliases. Aliases means abbreviations of the commands. That is one advantage. You don't have to type the enter letters. Okay. So I hope you have got an overview of what a command is in AutoCAD and how the different methods to give it. How can we effectively combine these commands to create a drawing and to execute a task? Okay. Now we will move over to the questions. You can feel free to ask me any questions you have related with what is being discussed here. Okay. What any queries you have? Please let me know. What about dimensions? Okay, dimensions you can very well create in AutoCAD. You can give it. There are some commands for the dimensions. Okay, so you give the dimension, commands related with the dimension and pick that object. You can very well see that dimension automatically appearing there. It will automatically calculate the dimension. Okay, it's all simple and easy. Any other query? Please type it in the chat box. We have 3-4 minutes left. You can, yes, you can ask queries. Any query related with commands or general queries related with AutoCAD, you can ask me. Convert 2D to 3D model command. Yes, you can have if you have a 2D drawing, it can be converted to 3D model. We have a session for that. In the session, I'll demonstrate the procedure. Okay. Any other query? Feel free to ask. Sir, Stat Pro का भी series आएगा जरूर आएगा वो इंटर्नशाला टीम से पूछना है ओके स्टार्ट प्रो का ऐसा क्रैश कोर्स सीरीज होगा वो इंटर्नशाला टीम से आप मेल कीजिए Okay, you're welcome, Farheen. Can you give us a list of AutoCAD commands in PDF? Yes, there is a PDF file with all the commands. Yeah, I'll share that. What is the difference between 2D and 3D? Difference between 2D and 3D is very simple because 2D means it is confined to a single plane. Okay, it is drawn in a single plane. 3D means it is created in space. That's all. It is just like the difference in 2D and 3D movies, right? When you watch it in theater, you can feel the difference, similar kind of difference. Sir, can you explain more basics of AutoCAD interface? See, for that, you have to do the course. Okay, we have two courses. Internshala has got two courses. One is an AutoCAD 2D, 3D, AutoCAD 2D, elaborate and 3D basics. Then we have the advanced course in AutoCAD 3D. In that course, everything is dealt with in detail. Okay, but this is a crash course. What we are giving now. Sir, can you explain? Okay, fine. Then what is it, sir? How can we practice? How can we practice? If you are already familiar with AutoCAD, the method to practice is you have to collect as many problems as you can. Or you can download, depending upon your stream. If you are a mechanical engineer, you can download all the mechanical drawings and figures and try it out. That's all. If you have a civil background, get the figures, because everything is available in the net. We get certificate for this course. Yes, we will get certificate. It's a certified course. Okay, I think we can wind up now. Okay. If you have further queries, you can come with further queries tomorrow, because we'll have the same session tomorrow. Okay. In that, we will see how to convert 2D to 3D and all that. I'll demonstrate. Okay. Thank you so much for your participation.
क्या हुआ बे? अबे रॉकेट काहे बने हुए हो?
ग्रेजुएशन के लिए सिर्फ 4 महीने बचे और समझ नहीं आ रहा आगे क्या करूं। शुरू कहां से करूं?
अबे इंटर्नशाला ट्रेनिंग से मैं बताता हूं। यहाँ है मशीन लर्निंग, जावा, HR, टैली जैसे बहुत सारे करियर बिल्डिंग ट्रेनिंग्स। ट्रेनिंग सेलेक्ट कर और अपना करियर शुरू कर। इंटर्नशाला ट्रेनिंग्स, शुरुआत यहीं से।